Welcome back, Cardboard Warriors. Alright, so time for one of these collections I purchased a few weeks ago and just haven't really had a chance to go through them completely and get them ready for a video, but now I have. So, at least on this one. I still got another bigger one that I go through, but... So, this collection, I posted over a year and a half ago when I first got back in the game on Craigslist to buy collections for Magic cards from people so I could try and get my hands on some of the older cards that I stupidly sold like 18 years ago or whatever, 12 years ago, I don't know, 12 years ago, I think, back 2008, 13 now, I guess. So, you know, obviously I missed those old cards because I started the day Revised came out, and so I had tons of ABU and Antiquities and Legends and Arabian Nights and Dark and all that, so I really wanted to get my collection back, obviously, so I've been trying to rebuild it and buy up collections, but it's just rare that anybody actually reaches out to me to sell me a collection. But for some reason, last month, like twice in 1 week, I got emails from people wanting to sell older collections. So this is one of them. This guy was about an hour and a half south of me here in Florida. So originally he was like, oh, I've got this collection of older cards, a few hundred cards, and lots of, it's all 93, 94 stuff. So I was like, well, I'm definitely interested, you know. And so, but he couldn't tell me much about the collection, just that it was older cards. And he was asking, he was asking around $100. So I was like, well, if there's some alpha and beta and stuff in there, $100, no problem. And then he was like, and you got to pay shipping if you want me to ship it to you, because it was kind of a little ways away. So I was like, yeah, not a problem. We can talk. So turns out after we talk a little bit, we text back and forth a little bit. He texted me some photos, and then all of a sudden he texted me a photo with some dual lands in it. And he's like, I just looked up the price on these, and I didn't realize how much these are worth. And I was like, oh, great. He's going to try and jack up the price to $1,000 on me now, or $2,000 or whatever. So, he's like, well, we talked back and forth a little bit, and I asked him how much he's wanting now. And he goes, well, how does 150 sound? I'll pay the shipping to you. And I was like, deal. Because he showed me a picture of a couple of revised dual lands in the collection. So, deal. Not a problem. But then turns out he had some other stuff I wanted, some sports cards and some toys and stuff. So I ended up making the drive down there, and we settled on 125 because I was coming to pick them up. So turns out there was a lot more than a few hundred cards, but there was no alpha or beta or unlimited in the collection at all. So the oldest cards he had was, he had some Antiquities, just a few, and a few Legends, and a few Dark. So not much in there. There was some cards that I pulled out of here that we'll show you in a few minutes. This row here, it's about 3,000 in the collection total. This row here is all Fallen Empires. I didn't even bother looking those up because there's nothing worth anything in there. This is Homelands. There was a couple decent cards in there. This is Ice Age, this chunk here. This next chunk was all Alliances. Oh yeah, good set. Couple Visions in the back, just like, I think it might have gotten 1 or 2 booster packs of Visions. There's Mirage here. Looks like you had gotten at least 1 starter deck. Back then they were called starter decks, now they're called tournament packs. Or well, then they were called tournament packs, and now they don't exist. But because there was a Mirage starter deck box, as well as a bunch of Ice Age ones and a bunch of 4th edition ones that's back here. So, and next up we had Chronicles. A lot of Chronicles. And then this is just Mirage Lands. This whole row here is 4th edition. And 4th edition lands, and then just some manuals and stuff, some old manuals. And then this was all revised, and then revised lands. So the bulk of the collection was just 4th edition or revised, but there is some good cards in those sets. So I'm going to move this aside as I bump the camera. I apologize. I'm probably going to have to move it a little bit so you guys can see. But this is the stack of cards worth money. So, and then there was a couple of fun 4th edition cards. There's a Crusade, which I can't find a price on Crusade at all, I guess, because Watsy hates the card and banned it now, even though it's a great card. Yeah, nobody even sells them or something. I don't know. And then the old Channel Fireball. You guys don't know how effective this was back in the day. I mean, before they had a minimum deck size, we all built like 8-card decks that were Channel Fireball that were guaranteed wins before the opponent could even play a land. So the combo is awesome. All you need is a Channel Fireball and 4 mana. Preferably, obviously, a mountain and a Black Lotus, and you're good to go. Because you can sack the Black Lotus for 3 green, 2 to start the channel, 1 extra one, and then the mountain to start the fireball, and then you channel for 19, which does 20 damage to your opponent, and you're at 1 life. So that's the old Channel Fireball combo, in case you guys aren't familiar if you weren't playing back then. Anyways, let's get into the good stuff. That's what you all came here to see. And then I'll give you a total of how much it's currently worth. This is the like 170 best cards that were in the collection. We'll just kind of go through a little bit at a time here. We'll go set by set. All right, so here was our hits from Homelands. We had a Baki's Curse, a Black Carriage, Apocalypse Chime, Narwhal, good old Wall of Kelp, Revoca, and a Willow Priestess. So nice little Homelands kind of hit there. And then we'll go through some Mirage. So the Mirage hits were a Null Chamber, Rescinda, a Rock Basilisk, a Miser's Cage, Amulet of Unmaking, and a Siege of Innocence. So a couple little Mirage cards, nothing huge, no tutors unfortunately. I was really disappointed by that. Next up we'll do our Ice Age here. So obviously these snow-covered islands and stuff, snow-covered islands I think are like $4 or $5 a piece, but there's only 2 of those. For some reason there wasn't very many. I don't know if he pulled some out because he realized they were worth some money. I don't know. But we did get a good amount of snow-covered forests, which is the 2nd most valuable one, and the snow-covered swamp is 3rd, and then the snow-covered mountains and snow-covered plains. So those are nice to have, those old original Ice Age ones. People still like the originals. All right. We got a Pyroblast, a couple counter spells, Fire Covenant, Swords of Plowshares, great card, an Ice Cauldron, a Brushland. Some of these we call them either Pain Lands or Ping Lands back in the day. They're dual lands, but every time you tap them for a colored mana, they deal a point of damage to you, but you can tap them per colorless for free. So I thought they were good lands. I liked those back in the day. Sulphur Springs, which is the black and red. To get a Jeweled Amulet, a Halls of Mist, and then a Dance of the Dead, and the good old Necropotence. Necropotence was a really super powerful card back in the day. Yeah, Necro decks were a force to be reckoned with back then. Alright, next up we got our Dark. We got a Reflecting Mirror, Niall Sylvain. I've never been able to pronounce his name. I don't know, he's worth a lot now, but he wasn't back then. And that's one of the biggest things I found going through this collection is the cards that were huge staples back then, and the most valuable cards on the set are kind of worthless bulk now. And some of these cards that we never used or played or heard of even back then really are huge now, like this one. And then Exorcist was big back in the day. So Exorcist, great hit out of the dark there. And great card. That one was from day one. We knew it was a beast. So good old Exorcist. So not very many dark cards, but some really good ones in there. And then Legends, not much in the line of Legends either. But we got a Feint, and we did get a Deadfall, which is a really good card. So a couple nice Legends hits there. Our only Antiquities hit was an Urza's Chalice. So got that one. It's really early, so my voice isn't awake yet. All right, and then Chronicles here. Let's see. Okay, so Chronicles, we got a Land's Edge, a Dakin Blackblade, the original Nicol Bolas. Well, technically the Legend was the original one, but this is the same card, just with a white border. Astronaut's Altar, 3 of those, and an original Blood Moon from Chronicles. Well, again, not original, but second printing. So Chronicles, if you weren't around back then, was a set that almost killed Magic. People were furious about this set because it was the very first reprint set. Cards hadn't been reprinted in a reprint set before. Now they did right before Chronicles came out. They came out with Ice Age, which reprinted a couple cards that had been cut from ABU, and people were really upset about that. But Chronicles really, really infuriated a lot of people because that was a whole reprint set, you know, and people realized that, you know, your cards that were worth money were going to get reprinted and then not be worth money. So everybody got really kind of upset with that one. All right, let's go through 4th edition next. So we got some, I'm kind of surprised to see the price on Red Elemental Blast now, but we got some Red Elemental Blast. We did get a few Lightning Bolts. Nice. Possibly my favorite card of all time. A couple original counterspells, a couple Sarah Angels, and we got 4 of the Mistress Factories, which is probably one of the best reprints in 4th edition. Great card from originally Antiquities, I believe. Bad Moon, a couple Hypnotic Specters, the old hippie shakes, some Ivory Towers, a Lord of Atlantis, a couple Armageddons, a couple Stasis. Stasis decks used to be fun back in the day. Fun for you if you were playing them, not fun if you were playing against them. Strip Mine, Solar Stone, a Holly Mine, and a nice Birds of Paradise. Birds of Paradise, good old BOPs, always going to be worth something. So there was our kind of 4th edition stuff. Now we'll go through some of the smaller revised stuff, and then we'll get into the big dogs that everybody's here to see. So we did get some revised Red Elemental Blasts, 5 of them. We got a Gaia's Liege, Mijajin, which, again, that was kind of a worthless card back in the day. The coin flip cards were not very popular in the early days. Aspect of Wolf, a Regrowth, a couple Smokes, a couple Anime Deads. Those were great cards from day one. Elvis Archers, a couple Swords of Plowshares. Another one that we knew from day one was just a really powerful removal spell. A couple Clones. I used to love Clones back in the day. Mahamadi Jin, another Hypnotic Spectre from Revised. Anka Mishra, JM Tome. It's funny how Revised and 4th had a lot of the same cards, but the price ranges are totally different on them. It's very unusual. Cards that are worthless in 4th edition are worth a lot in Revised, and vice versa. So, very weird. Goblin King, a few original Revised counterspells. We got a Farmstead, Basalt Monoliths, a couple of those. And then the Revised Lightning Bolts. We got a whole play set of those. A Sacrifice, a Force of Nature. That was actually the first rare I ever pulled from any pack at all. Force of Nature. Yeah, it was a big deal back then. Now you look at it, it's kind of underpowered, but yeah, it was a big deal back then. Mana Flare, Armageddon, 2 Lord of the Pits. That's one that, like, Lord of the Pits not worth anything in 4th, but in Revised is worth a lot. Then Demonic Hordes, Serendib Ifrit, the original misprint. They accidentally printed a blue card with a green border. I don't even know how they accomplished that. It seems like a lot. Originally Arabian Nights card. Lord of Atlantis, Ivory Towers, 3 of those. Rock of Courageous, a Sedge Troll, and a Bad Moon. So, some decent rares, some decent commons that have gone up. Just good cards overall. All right, now for the end of the pile here. This is pretty mind-blowing that I got this. Already, there's obviously way more than $125 worth of cards. It was a pretty epic score, but you haven't even, it gets even better. All right, so Alliances. So we got a couple Burnouts. There's actually a lot of Alliances cards. I was quite shocked to see how many there was. Misfortune, Astronaut Silex, Lodestone Bauble, Sheltered Valley. If you know Alliances prices, you realize these prices are going up kind of quick here. Kesa ×2, Limdual's Vault, Kildoran Outpost, Helm of Obedience. Yep, big hit there. Thawing Glazers, another big hit. And Force of Will. I did come across a Force of Will in there. totally stoked about that because I did have a playset of original Force of Wills. I think I might have more than a playset. I had a couple playsets, but because I knew from day one Force of Will was going to be a valuable card, even though it was an uncommon when it came out. But yeah, it's gone up quite a bit more than I expected over the years. And then a Lake of the Dead. I came across that, I almost fainted. I was like, oh, that was one of the first big hits I came across in the collection. All right, now for the rest of the revised stuff, we got Howling Mine, an original Shipping Dragon, a Fork, one of my another card I just absolutely love, a Brain Geyser, which has gone up a lot. The Copy Artifact was gone up a ton. This was a bulk rare back in the revised days. Nobody wanted this card. Now this is a $100 card now. It's crazy. We got 2 Demonic Tutors, a Wheel of Fortune, and then a Taiga, a Tundra, a Tropical Island, and a Volcanic Island. So 4 dual lands, all really good ones. Yeah, for 125 bucks. You can't go wrong with that. So pretty epic score. I couldn't believe it when I actually started digging through it. The guy really just didn't know anything. He hadn't played since revised. Or I guess it would have been Mirage was probably the oldest or the newest set in there. So yeah, he hasn't played since Mirage or Visions. I forget which one came out first. It was during one of the times I wasn't playing. But so pretty epic score. I'm really happy to get some of my dual lands back. I had an entire binder full of dual lands when I sold my collection. I had at least a page of each one in revised, and then I had some extras in quite a few unlimited extras, and then I had I think I had a couple betas as well. So you know, my dual lands are going to be the hardest thing to get back, I think, because everybody wants them and the prices are ridiculous now on these. I mean, these 2 are like $800 cards, and this is like 6, and that's like 500 plus. So, I mean, I had 9 of each, you know. Just getting a play set of each is going to be so difficult. So, when I come across just amazing epic collection deals like this, I am just so stoked to actually get some of these back. I kept 4. I kept 1 deck when I sold my collection, which you can see on my channel if you go back to my older videos. It's a black and white deck, so I did keep 4 of the Scrublands because I actually had more of those than anything else because I ran a lot of black and white decks back then. But I always knew dual lands were a hugely important part of the mana base, and I need to have a good position in those if I wanted to play competitively back then. And I'm really just so kicking myself for selling my collection and getting rid of all those dual lands I had. I literally had at least 9 of each, more of most of them. The Volcanic Island's one that I had. I think I had 2 unlimiteds. On top of the 9, I had 2 unlimiteds and then a beta one. So if I had those now, I could pretty much retire. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you ever gotten an epic deal like this? The crazy thing is I got 2 deals like this in the same week. Now, the other one isn't old school cards like this. It's more of that mid-area kind of Scars of Mirrodin type era. 10th edition to whatever M13 type range. But that one's even bigger than this one. That one was he had 2 8-foot folding tables or 6-foot folding tables set up full of cards. When I went to look at that collection, I was like, oh. And I got that one pretty cheap too, and there's some pretty amazing stuff in it. So anyways, you don't come across these every day. Have you guys ever come across a collection deal like this, even for a lot more money than this, but still a good deal? This was just literally once in a lifetime type blowout deal on this collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out the description below. I'm getting close to 1,000 subs. I need like 50 something more to go, and then I'll hit 1,000. Hopefully this video will help get me there, because then I can monetize the channel and actually try and make a few bucks back. I'm kind of strapped right now on being able to buy a lot of stuff because they rushed out so many sets last year. It just absolutely destroyed my finances. So anything that I can do to help with it's big right now. So every little penny helps. So if you click any of those links, those Amazon links, and buy anything off Amazon, even if it's not what's in the link, really helps my channel. I get a few cents commission on anything that's bought through my link there. There's, you know, a lot of affiliate things down there that really help out the channel. Don't cost you anything, but it helps out my channel. There's a lot of stuff that saves you money. Everything that's down there should save you money on your purchases. Trying to help you guys out, save a few bucks, and hopefully if you use those links, it helps me out a little bit. Makes me a few bucks here and there. So I really appreciate it. All the subs and likes and views means the world to me. I love the game. I'm glad to be back in it after all these years, and I'm having a blast with it. It's too bad the whole virus thing shut the world down, and I can't actually play much Paper Magic right now, but I think that might be coming back soon. So let me know if it's back in your area, and let me know what you guys think of this collection. And yeah, just type congrats in the comments because I'm pretty stoked about it. So thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate you watching. Check out some other videos while you're here, and let me know what you think about the shorts I've been doing. All right, thanks guys. Talk to you later. Bye. I was about to wrap up, and I completely forgot to tell you guys the total price, so I'll probably edit it on the end of the video. So the total price currently TCG market is $4,979.25. So for these 170 something cards here. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I realized I forgot to give you guys the total. Oh, and there's one other thing. I did get some a lot of like really wild miscuts. This was very common back in the day. You see how there's almost no black on the bottom and a big border on the top. This was pretty common. There was a lot of cards like this. See, it's like no bottom and a lot of top. This one, it's off to the right here, big time. Yeah, so another one here, forest here. So this was so these were dark, Ice Age, revised, and then these are some 4th editions. So there's a revised one that's very right justified there. Stone Rain is very top justified. See, there's a big bottom and very little top. And then another 4th edition forest that's way off to the side. So this was very common back then. Miscuts were very common. They weren't worth anything. Misprints were worth a lot, but miscuts weren't. But I guess now miscuts are. If anybody out there is interested in miscuts and stuff like that, or misprints, let me know. I got a ton of them that I've opened recently. So, and then a bunch of older ones like this. So let me know if you're interested in that, or if you think that's a thing, or I don't know. So it wasn't a thing before, but I guess maybe now it is. Let me know. Talk to you guys later. Bye.